Good morning from Westover, Nevada. That's right, Nevada. So let's get into it. This is going to be a trip update similar to what I did 15 days ago when I left Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm changing my route. So now we're going to go through Nevada, California, and up the Oregon and Washington coast. A little bit of a backstory on why the change. I've actually done the route from Salt Lake to Boise once before, although I had to make it a quick one because I had a deadline to meet. And the other reason is that I was looking at facilities in southern Idaho, in the Sawtooth specifically, and a lot of them were closed. It's still very early in the season. Now there's going to be a lot of facilities closed in the Northern California area, but I think this is going to be a better route. Now, when I left originally, I said that it would take somewhere between 12 and 16 days. But if I had continued on the track that I currently was on, going through Idaho, I would have ended up spending about 19 days on the road. Now we're shooting it up to something like 25 days. So this has been the longest road trip that I've taken. Crossed back into Utah to check out the Bonneville Salt Flats. They've set many land speed records here. Well, I wanted to give you an update on what's going on. I'm still in West Wendover and it's starting to get on in the afternoon. There's currently a wind advisory in effect. The wind speeds are anywhere from 20 to 30 miles an hour with gusts up to 55 miles an hour. I did try to make some progress on I-80, however, it just wasn't happening. So I got to the first exit and turned around and came back to West Wendover. The other thing that has happened, and I'm going to turn you around here for a second. Back in Kansas, my van actually broke a little bit. So I don't know if you could see it, but there's actually a gap now in this sunlight, right? That actually broke off when I was going down I-80 this morning. This side broke off back in Kansas, and the whole thing actually flipped up and broke off the hinge a little bit. So my concern is that if I'm going down I-80 with these kind of winds, the whole thing is going to rip completely off this time. So we're just going to stand fast here in West Wendover for a little bit until the wind dies down. I think it will a little bit later tonight, and then we'll make some forward progress. We are in Nevada, so of course gambling is legal. There are a couple casinos across the street, so I'll probably go down there. And I want to hit up a buffet. So it's turned out to be somewhat of a good layover. You know, I got some work done around the van. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but when I gave this update, I forgot to mention that it's day 16. So here's this update. I pulled over at the Rye Patch Recreation Area to kind of break up all the driving, explore the area, do a little hiking. The day's kind of gotten away from me though, because of all the driving and all the random little stops like this one right here, where I stopped in basically the middle of nowhere. It's now after 4:30 and I have at least another hour and a half driving if I want to go to Fernley. Probably about 2.5 or 2 to 2.5 hours if I want to go all the way to Reno. I'm leaning towards Fernley, but we'll see what happens once I get going. Good morning from just outside of Reno in Sparks, Nevada. It is day 17. So today I'm going to hang out for a couple hours in Reno. I might stop in Lake Tahoe. I got a call, there's a van specialty shop to see if they have a part for my van. If not, I'm just going to keep moving. And today I'm going to shoot for Quincy, California. Okay, I did go into several of the casinos, the Circus, the Silver Legacy Resort Casino, and the Eldorado Resort Casino. They're all owned by a Caesars Resort, and they're connected by massive sky bridges. Okay, I didn't stay too long in Reno. Just grab lunch, walk around a bit, and then just keep moving on to California. Okay, I'm in the Tahoe National Forest near Little Truckee Summit. I'm just hiking down a service road. I prefer this in the winter time. It's a lot easier because you don't have to do any pathfinding. Plus, a lot of the trailheads, there wasn't any parking because they hadn't plowed the lot yet. So we're about maybe 50 to 60 miles from Quincy. So we're doing all right for time today. Okay, I wanted to shoot one final update for the day. I'm just north of Quincy near the Keddie Y. Up in the Plumas National Forest, I found a little pullout on a Forest Service road. So this is it right here. This is what I love. And I love having the van right now. Good morning. It's day 18 and I'm hiking up the service road that I stayed at last night. Service road's not in the best condition, so I just decided to hike it. I think there is an actual hiking trail somewhere up here. So once I'm done with this hike, I'm going down to the Keddie Y, which is a pretty spectacular railroad bridge. And then from there, I think today I'm going to try to make it to the Shasta-Trinity National Forest. So I did find the Butterfly Valley trailhead, which is what I was referring to earlier. They have done some controlled burns in the area, so following the trail may be a little bit difficult. I think I'll hike on it for a few minutes and see what happens. Okay, so this is the Keddie Y, which I've been referring to. It's a pretty scenic spot. Hopefully we'll catch a train crossing one of these bridges. I'm at the Shasta-Trinity National Forest. Just wanted to give a little recap on the drive today because it was rather interesting. It took me through a lot of backcountry roads, and also there was this topography that I'd never really seen before, as you can see here. Just the bushes and the grass. It almost reminded me of a high desert, just with more rain. If you know the actual type of topography, leave a comment. But otherwise, I'm just going to give you a montage of all the different types of topography that I went through today. morning. It's day 19 of the trip, and I'm up here on the Pacific Crest Trail in the Shasta-Trinity National Forest. I'm having to shoot this on my phone today because my GoPro battery seems to have died on the way up here. I took a side trail to get up to the Pacific Crest Trail, the Dogwood Trail. So this is basically going to be the turnaround. I am going to go a little bit further because, as you'll see, there is some pretty stunning cliffs a little bit further down the trail. As far as today is concerned, my goal is to make it to Canyonville, so it's going to be a pretty normal day of driving, or what I would like to be a normal day of driving, because the last couple days it's been all over the place. 70 miles, 280 miles, so should be a short day of driving. So here's a better look at the cliffs that I was referring to. Off to the left, there's two peaks, and I think that's Castle Craig Dome. This will wrap up my time in California, as well as part 4 of this series. If you haven't watched any of the other videos in this series, I encourage you to check them out. Thanks for watching.